What's up, everyone? Thank you for tuning into, what's this, episode 11? I missed like the past 4 weeks. I'm so sorry. No Face, is it 11? Please tell me it's 11.
I believe you are correct. Actually, yes, because I titled I called the last one 10. So unless I was wrong last time, we should be on 11.
It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos.
Thank you for tuning into Delta Co Fire Team Chat. I'm Audio Reborn, and it's just me and No Face today. And excuse the noise in the background. We are actually recording this live from Kraken's leaky house.
Oh.
So please excuse the noise.
Yeah, if
What's
you're
up,
wondering, Kraken is unable to join us because his house decided that it needed to start leaking. So he's dealing with that right now. So best of luck to Kraken. Hopefully he gets that knocked out.
Good old Washington weather.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, it's been a while. It's great to be back. Awesome. So, I guess we'll get down to business here. So, what's happened to you in Destiny 2 this week?
This week, I honestly have logged in for a solid maybe like 10 minutes. And most of it, that's not even like, it's not that I didn't want to play Destiny. It's my internet, like with the weather and everything like that. My internet has been so screwy. I kept getting like bounced off of like every server. I couldn't play like hardly anything these past few days just because of that. So it's not that I didn't want to play Destiny. It's that I just gave up fighting with the internet. So sadly, that's my week.
That's a bummer, man. That sucks. I actually this week I haven't played Destiny in the past 2.5 weeks. I just got back on Tuesday and just kind of just messing around, and like my week has actually been kind of good. First 5 minutes of the game, I got the one exotic for my warlock that I've been grinding my ass off for forever, and that's the
awesome.
Ophidian Aspects. I finally got Ophidian Aspects, and then I turned around, I turned in some stuff, and I got some masterwork weapons that I dismantled, and I rerolled my Better Devils for reload. So now I got that with my Ophidian Aspects.
Cool.
And I've just been playing with that and just having a lot of fun with it, just kind of bullshitting here and there. Haven't really had a whole lot of time to really play or do any nightfalls or anything due to real life situations. But yeah, man. So this week at Bungie, they posted two things this week. They had the weekly update, which I don't think we really need to get into because, I mean, the weekly update, I don't think people really cared about it this week. The one thing that people really cared about this week was the development update. And we've been waiting on this for a while. And this is actually written by according to this, it says the game director, Christopher Barrett.
Correct.
So I thought the game director was Kevin Smith.
So Kevin Smith is
his name is.
Oh, they actually changed his title recently. He is the, oh God, now you're putting me on the spot here. I knew what this was like 10 minutes ago. But basically, he is the development head or whatever. He's the lead, team lead, basically is how you would define it. They actually just made him the, quote, franchise lead, I think back in like November or early December or something like that. But yeah, Chris Barrett is like the head dev. Like, so he's the head nerd, whereas Luke Smith is the head of saying that we should get rid of the Grimoire and things like that. No, I'm not bitter at all whatsoever, people.
So he's just responsible for making the big decisions.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that.
He's the one that's why everyone like gives him so much shit, because every time something goes wrong, it's like, this could be traced directly back to Luke Smith. You know, like that's how everyone feels. So.
I think I said Kevin Smith earlier. Did I say Kevin Smith? Or did
I don't think you did, but I really feel like we would be better off with this game if Kevin Smith was the design lead. So
absolutely, that'd be dope. Lots of Batman. Anyways, all right. So we'll just get down to the nitty gritty here. So in the development update, the first thing they did, that they just kind of broke this down for people just to get a better perspective on it, is how content is divided out. And you got three categories. You have expansions, seasons, and Eververse. And I'm just going to go through them here real quick because I'm pretty sure a lot of us already know. So for expansions, this is content that is purchased. And in expansions, you get new campaign and strikes, new destination rewards, new raid layer, crucible maps, and legendary and exotics. So for seasons, this is content that is available to all Destiny 2 players across the board, no matter if you have the expansions or not. You get Iron Banner, faction rallies, seasonal reputation, rewards, in-game playlists, seasonal events, and you will get the new features and updates. And then, of course, Eververse, which nobody gives a shit about, electively purchased, customized items, boons, and emotes.
I will actually disagree with that. All the shits are given about Eververse, but just not in that direction.
Yeah, that's just my personal opinion. I don't really. But anyways, so Iron Banner faction rallies and the rewards will be available to everyone as a part of Season 2. And it says, going forward, we are making a change that the new seasonal rewards from Crucible, Strikes, and Trials of the Night will be available to all players, which is, I think, is pretty cool. And they made the statement here saying the faction rallies will return on January 16th, which I believe is this upcoming Tuesday, as of being recorded on Friday, which is the 12th of January. And then... yeah, and Iron Banner will be coming back in rotation on January the 30th, which I believe is 2 weeks after that. So, all right. Do you want to talk about Eververse?
Well, there's one thing I want to note on this, all this sort of stuff. I talked about it a little in chat today, talking to some people. And now, again, me being the eternal pessimist, being the person who I'm expecting worst case scenario, so that way I'm not disappointed later. So we were talking about like end game things that change that make the game better, and whether or not those are going to be locked behind DLCs. And people are like, oh no, it says specifically like in the seasons, it says new features and updates. Now, while I agree that is definitely the way it sounds, that like, yeah, any sort of end game stuff, any sort of systems that would improve the game will be there, like for all players. Like that's definitely the way it sounds.
Like quality of life things.
Right, but when you say new features and updates, now when you get to something like the Taken King, for example, had Court of Oryx. Court of Oryx was awesome. Does that fall into it increased? It gave like another path to the end game, all that sort of stuff. It was more content. Does that fall in a new feature and update, or does that fall into like the raid layer category? Things like Archon's Forge, right? Stuff like that. Where does that actually fall? And so I'm not trying to be like super negative about it, but I'm just saying like in my head, again, being the eternal pessimist, I see that as like that gives them room to wiggle out of stuff and try and compel people to buy DLC. But that's just me.
Yeah, and I see where you're coming from, and and of course they're going to be under expansions, but like I feel like on this expansions section they should just put new activities, like new expansion themed activities or something of the sort, so that way there's not really a mix up in that area.
Right. So, and I mean, I'm sure as they get closer to DLCs, they'll define that more so that they don't have the issue of people being locked out of content like they did with Curse of Osiris and then having yet another controversy to deal with. So hopefully they'll get to that. Like they'll give us more details as we get closer to that next expansion.
Yeah. All right. So the next topic is, of course, the number one that everybody talks about is Eververse. So they basically recognize that the scales are tipped too far towards tests at the moment, and Eververse was never intended to be a substitute for in-game content and rewards. So we'll be making 3 changes for the upcoming season. Number 1 is that they're shifting the balance of new content in favor of activity rewards over bright engrams. This includes adding ghosts, sparrows, and ships in quotes to date found only in bright engrams to achieve reward pools. Number 2, will provide a gameplay path to earn bright engrams and all contained rewards. And that's going to be including the event engrams as well. So if that sounds right, you'll be able to double up on the bright. You get the bright and the event at the same time. Right?
Yeah, that's the way I understand it.
Okay.
Like when Crimson Days comes up and you level up, you'll get a bright engram as well as a Crimson Days engram. And I want to say I read that somewhere. Oh yeah. It actually says that players will earn double engrams at level up, 1 Crimson engram, 1 illuminated engram. So.
Yeah, and this is the one that I think people might like is it says that we'll give players more direct purchase options and make adjustments to bright engrams to allow players to get the items they want more often. And they haven't gone into detail as to like how that's going to work, but my assumption is that we'll be able to buy dust straight up instead of just buying engrams, so we can kind of get what we want.
Right, and not that I feel like anyone is really overly motivated by bright engrams anyway. Like I don't feel like that's people's reason for playing very much. But I do feel like it's probably not. It's probably going to work out pretty well. But the idea of being able to like shower people in loot does, in my opinion, shorten the grind, shorten the end game a little bit. So I feel like that needs to be tuned fairly well. But other than that, I think it is a good idea.
Yeah, and that's the kind of the way that I was hoping they would go. Because I mean, once I got a bright engram, I was just like, I'm not going to get shit from this. So like, why even bother? You know. And that's kind of why I just stopped. Like, I played like the first couple of days of the Dawning, and I was like, "This is stupid. Like, this is really pointless. I already know what this is." The whole thing about that was like, I like the idea of it, but I just didn't like how it was completely circled around the idea of Eververse. But,
right. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So it says, we've begun implementing these changes for Crimson Days event beginning February 13th, with even more changes on the way in Season 3. Number 1 is completing Nightfall, Raid, and Crimson Days milestones during Crimson Days will reward you an exclusive legendary emote, weapon skin, and exotic sparrow, respectively. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I completely agree, and that's definitely
like,
the way that the Dawning should have been.
Yeah, or just any event like that in general.
Fair.
Or,
that's how the Festival of the Lost that we never got should have been.
Or what do they call it? The Festival of the Cost.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Nice. All right, so players will earn double engrams at level up, 1 crimson engram and 1 illuminated for the duration of the event. Crimson engrams can also drop from completing the Crimson Days match and from completing the Crimson Days milestone on each character. Oh wow, that's actually really cool. So you'll be able to earn 3 times. That's neat.
Yeah, so that you can actually get each armor set, or it's possible to get each armor set.
And each Crimson engram is very strongly weighted to new rewards when decrypted until all new event items have been obtained. Okay.
So again, I'm curious how strong that is, because again, this is stuff that we've been being told for 4 months now, or whatever. Is that it's like, oh, we've changed it so you're not going to get duplicate exotics, or we've changed it so you're not going to get duplicate like this and that, and yeah, they haven't done so well at this, so we'll see how well this works. Again, I'm being negative until I'm proved otherwise. I'm not going to hold too much weight on this one.
You got a right to be negative, man. If that's your opinion. So, I mean, I'm with you on it, though. I mean, like, if when they did the faded engram from Xur, the first one I got, duplicate. I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this again.
Oh, those faded engrams.
Yeah.
Luckily, I did not buy any until and I already found out that they were broken. I was like, oh, I am so glad I did not waste shards.
Yeah. So according to this, it says that they're basically just saying that they haven't fixed the XP rate thing yet. Back whenever they figured out, whenever they got caught with their pants down with the whole XP throttling thing. So
unworkably buggy is how they said their first attempt to fix the XP was, which makes me laugh a little.
Unworkably buggy.
So, but they're working on it, which I think again, step in the right direction. Obviously, okay. So at this point, nothing is changing. But again, they're gonna try and fix the XP thing. And in my opinion, regardless of what system they go with, they could go straight back to the XP throttling thing. But as long as it's transparent, as long as they say like, yeah, if you're just like bouncing public event to public event, we're gonna throttle you. As long as the UI reflects that, I wouldn't have a problem with it, and I don't think a lot of the community would either.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that.
So as long as it's transparent, I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. All right. So the next section here is this is a future roadmap for the next 3 releases. They made a very bold statement here saying the following content and features will be available to all D2 players regardless of expansion ownership. So this is going to fall under the seasons category. So January 30th, we're going to be getting Masterwork Armor, which is on my wish list. That's going to be really cool. It says we're expanding the Masterwork system to include armor. Masterwork Armor provides increased damage reduction while using your super. You can reroll the armor stat type on Masterwork Armor, and similar to Masterwork weapons, you could upgrade a piece of armor to Masterwork by spinning Masterwork cores and legendary shards. So basically, this is just going to work like the Masterwork weapons, but except take out the spawning an orb on double kill, and you just get what they say it was
Reduced damage in your super.
Yeah. So that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I think that's a really big, really cool thing for PvP, especially like if they stack. So like if you can run like arms, helmet, chest, legs, I don't know, a ghost. I'm not sure if they're throwing that in armor or not. They probably won't do it for a cloak or anything like that. But if that all stacks, now like freaking Blade Dancer or spinny twirly staff guy, arc staff, would actually be viable. So you wouldn't actually just get shot pop your super and get shot in the face by an entire team. You could actually get to them, which I think would be really cool. Like I think that does have real potential in PvP. I don't generally get killed out of my super in PvE that much, so maybe it's useful for some people, but yeah, arc staff for me in PvP was almost unplayable because you couldn't use it. Because you just get team shot before you got there. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and on the note of hunters, I still haven't made my hunter yet on my PC character or on my PC account. But this little part right here where it says you can re-roll the armor stat type on Masterwork Armor. Mm-hmm. Now, if I read that correctly, that's going to be, I'm assuming that's going to be like mobility, resilience, and recovery. Because if that's the case, then I might actually make a hunter just for that. Because I do like playing when I played my hunter on my console, I loved it. Like I played a lot of Golden Gun, but I just don't feel, with being on PC, I don't really feel like it's worth the time.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see how that works.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. Looking forward to that. All right, so the Raid Reward Rework. Try saying that 3 times really fast. Jesus Christ.
Raid Reward Rework.
Yeah. All right. So it's saying that we are updating raid rewards to make them more unique and interesting. Great. They will now feature mods with raid specific perks. And we are adjusting the rewards to ensure a raid item drops from each major encounter. Thank the fucking gods. Jesus. That was like the main thing that I wanted. I was like, just come on, man. Because that's what was keeping me from playing the raid in general, for a long time. So the raid vendor, to get this, the raid vendor will also directly sell Leviathan and Eater of Worlds armor and weapons for purchase with raid tokens and legendary shards.
So just on that point, before we move any further, that's freaking great. Like all of that, really cool. Again, having the vendor directly sell things. I think again may end up shortening the grind for those raid items a little too much. Maybe again it'll have to be balanced a little. We'll see how that works.
Yeah, and
Go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
No,
No,
you
go ahead.
first. No, you.
Nah,
No,
not
you.
I'm just kidding. All right. So, well, what I was gonna say is, what they're talking about, selling the armor and the weapons. I mean, I think that a lot of the people that they grind the raid all the time, they're not really gonna like that. Gonna be like, like they're gonna say like that's not really respecting my time. But I think
Right.
that's made for more people like me who. When I hop in a raid, like, I only have so much amount of time, and if I can't finish it, I have these coins. I could just go and I can save them up, and I can go buy whatever I want. And there are a couple of weapons that I've really been trying to get, like the Midnight Coup, and the grenade. Not the grenade, the rocket launcher from
Sins
the
of the
raid.
Past, yeah, really
Yeah,
good.
Sins of the Past. I still don't have those. Yeah,
So, and I agree.
but
I think it's great, and honestly, the biggest thing for me that I like is the raid specific perks. Why that ever went away, I have no idea. But raid specific perks, and what I would actually like to see, what I think would be cool, is if there were mods with raid specific perks. That would be really cool. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I'm almost certain that's not what's going to happen. But again, like going
Well,
back to
it
D1,
says-
but still cool.
Well, it says they will now feature mods with raid specific perks. So, like, if I say,
So, but are
I
they-
think it's going to be something that you could just put on raid armor. You can buy the weapons, but it might entice you to go into the raid to get the mods that you could put on your armor. But I think it might only be on raid armor and not just like any other armor.
Well, so this is what, and maybe this is me misreading it or something, but the way I am having the idea of it is that there's going to be raid rewards, like you've got your raid gear, your raid armor, your raid weapons, everything like that, and they will have mods that are specific for the raid, but they're static. So you can, like, when you get that weapon, it's not like what I'm saying. It's not like going to drop you a mod. It will drop you a piece of gear with a raid specific mod, and then if you dismantle that mod, it's just gone forever. So that's kind of how I thought that meant, is that it's not non-transferable mods. I'm really not sure how to explain what I'm thinking. I need to like draw a picture or something. But
No,
yeah,
I
so
get it.
I'm not
I get
sure.
it.
I'm not sure. I think it's cool. I think it's good. I would love to see the ability to just like have a mod drop and be able to throw it on like any piece of armor or anything like that, and get like goofy combinations of raid specific perks through your mods. You're putting them all on different armor, different weapons, and getting these really interesting builds. But I'm not sure if that's how it's going to work or not.
Yeah, I would like that to be a thing. Like if it just dropped mods that worked for the raid, you could just throw it on whatever. Because to be quite honest with you, I don't really like the way that the raid armor looks. Because I've been rocking the full set of Nessus armor for my Warlock because I'm a big Blade Runner fan, and that's when I see that, that's what it reminds me of. So I look like I'm straight out of fucking Blade Runner. So I rock that with the Orpheus or with my hand cannon and arms that I
Gotcha.
just got from it. Yeah, sorry, but yeah. So the next thing here we're gonna talk about. Oh, sorry, I skipped something here. It says that we are also adding a new ghost with raid-specific perks that has a chance to drop from both Leviathan and Eater of Worlds final encounters. We intend to return to creating more raid and other activity unique rewards in the future. That's cool. They're adding a ghost.
And that last line is really the important part. Creating more raid and activity unique rewards. It's actually giving us a reason to do a specific thing. Instead of just going out and doing
I'm sorry,
like
you're cutting out
any
really bad.
public event or doing any whatever, now we have a specific reason to go out and do the raid. Going out and doing a specific strike. Those activity unique rewards are something that has been sorely missing, and again, don't know why they went away.
Yeah, I don't understand either. It's just I never really because I really enjoyed raiding in D1, not so much in D2. Anyways, so on to the next topic here is the February update. So, the first topic here is strike scoring and high score tracking. So, like, if some of you guys don't know, in D1, I think it was like towards the end of the third year, they added scoring to your strikes. And I believe, I don't know if it was, and then like every week you could go to Zavala and he would give you certain bounties that you had to complete. And you would earn, I don't even remember what kind of rewards there were. It was such a long time ago. So basically they're bringing that from D1 to D2. So strike scoring is coming to Nightfall and replacing the current time limit mechanic. Again, thank the fucking gods.
Really, you didn't like the time limit?
That is the only thing that's keeping me from doing the Nightfall.
Really?
It's a personal thing. Just anytime that I play a game, if I see like, oh, well, you have to do this crazy thing, but you have this little bitty amount of time, I go into this like, it's like a panic freak out mode, and I'm just like, oh my god, I got to do it, and I end up like choking and just fucking it up, and it gets under my skin to no end.
Right.
So I'm just like, yeah. So when I see the time thing on there, if it's not on there, great. Other than that, I don't even bother.
Gotcha. See, I mean, I kind of liked the time mechanic. Don't get me wrong, like I was terrible at it, very, very, very bad at it. But in my opinion, this is how I felt. I felt like every time I played, because I can play through, like, if you give me like all day to do it, I can solo a Nightfall. Like, I'm gonna take every second. Like, it's gonna, one enemy at a time. It's gonna be very, very methodical and slow, but I can solo it, and I'm not a good player. And so when I saw the time thing, I really enjoyed it because I felt like every time I went through a Nightfall and it was timed, I got better at playing the game. So that's because I just got faster. I got more survivable. I was able to do things, I had to learn where stuff was. So for me, I enjoyed the time thing, but I really do understand why other people hated it. And so for me, this is kind of it's a wash, like it doesn't really bother me that it's gone. I know I'll complete more Nightfalls now. But I did kind of like the timing.
Yeah. So the scoring is similar to Destiny 1 system with adjustments to emphasize competitive execution of strike objectives and support for player selectable score modifiers. In February, Nightfall high scores will be exposed in-game via new emblems and will unlock rewards. And it's saying that they're also going to be bringing this to clan and community high scores in the works. So basically, what it's saying is, we're going to have an emblem that will show our high score.
Ranked PvE.
Oh, I know, right?
It is kind of a step in that direction, which, I kind of don't want, because then it's just really going to like emphasize how bad I am. But, it is cool. Like, I can see how it's cool for people, but I'm like, man, out of like the 1 million registered users, I'm going to be like 1,000,001. So whatever.
Yeah. So for me, like, I don't mind running strikes, but like, I kind of wish this had been a thing when I was grinding my balls off to get those fucking forge weapons.
Right.
Yeah, because I had got all the forge weapons and I got the ghost, and after I got that's when I had stopped playing. I was like, all right, I'm done.
Really?
Because I was just like, there was nothing else in this expansion that I wanted to do besides raid layer, and I didn't really have time for raid layer, so I was like, I need to take a break anyway, because I had played so many strikes and public events. I was just like, I can't even look at the game. Like, I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to see it because it's just, it was driving me nuts. There's only so many times in a row that I could play the Nessus strike. without losing
Oh,
my mind.
jeez. Yeah. I'm with you on
Yeah,
that.
I can't. Every time I'd see it, I'd be like, oh, fuck this strike. But I'm not the type of the guy that leaves the strikes. I'm
Yeah.
not that asshole.
I only do it when I'm like, if it's like a fire team of like 3 of us, I'm like, oh, dude, this is Nessa strike again. Go back to orbit. We're gone. So, but yeah, I
Yeah,
try
I
not to
mean, yeah.
leave blueberries in the lurch.
Yeah. All right. So, looks like here they're going to be reworking the mods. So they're calling it mods 2.0. They're basically saying that they're underway on a full rework of armor and weapon mods. This will focus on reducing redundant mods, more unique theming, and greatly increasing their impact on your power. They're aiming, quote unquote aiming, that's the key word, for a February release, but the scope of the rework could push parts or the whole thing out into early spring. So they're going to be evaluating how mods play into the Bright Ingram economy as a result, because we're sensitive to pay-to-win outcomes. All right, so basically, from what I gather is it's saying that they're going to be reworking the mod system, and it might take a little while, but they're evaluating the mods and the Bright Ingram system. And personally, I think they should just take it out completely.
Take Bright Ingrams out.
Yeah, take the mods out of the Bright Ingrams because that's kind of
okay,
considered
okay.
pay to win in a way.
And I honestly think that's kind of what they're getting at with that statement. Is they're looking at it's like, okay, we know mods are in the Eververse store, so we're looking at whether or not we're really going to need to like remove them completely, or whether or not they can stay in there. Now, overall, with this point, I think it's great. Like, and I know they're calling it Mods 2.0, and I think the reason they're doing that is because they want to, for people out there who've played Diablo 3 and things like that, they want to remind people of the Loot 2.0 from Diablo 3.
That's funny.
Yeah, well,
I
I mean,
just played that before we started.
oh, nice. But did you play Diablo 3 when it first launched?
I did not.
Okay. Well, neither did I. So I was hoping you could explain how it was. But basically, for those of you who don't know the whole Loot 2.0 thing in Diablo 3, basically with the loot, Diablo 3 had very similar problems that Destiny 2 has, where it's a lot of the same loot and none of it is exciting. And so they came in and basically redid everything, like just redid like how loot dropped, where it dropped, all sorts of stuff, and basically saved the game. And so they called it Loot 2.0. So I really think that's what they're trying to invoke with this is Mods 2.0, saying it's like, listen, we know no one is happy with mods right now, but we're going to try and change them so fundamentally and in such a good way that it almost seems like a completely different system. And I think that's great, and I'm glad they're moving in that direction with mods.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same boat. My thing is like, I don't know. I like some of the mods are okay, but I don't know. I really want them to just scratch what they have and just completely redo it. To be honest with you, that seems like the best in the I don't know about the easiest way, but that just seems like if you want to just make everybody happy, just like create something new and just take out the old like everything and just put in a brand new system.
Well, and I'm really, really hoping because they definitely did say that this is something big. So I'm really hoping that that's basically what, it comes down to being like, basically we've burned it to the ground and we've got just a skeleton left and we're going to build it back up. And so I'm really hoping that's what they're doing with mods.
Yeah, it's really like, look, we fucked up. We get it. We're gonna
Right.
fix it. So, all right. So, quick play improvements. We are adjusting game mode rules to increase the pace of gameplay and power ammo acquisition in quick play. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, it's a really vague statement. So really hard to get any idea of what's going on there. So again, that's kind of a wait and see how that pans out.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about the pace of gameplay and the power ammo acquisition in quick play. I mean, if you want the games to be quicker, just fucking give everybody heavy ammo and be done with it.
Yeah.
Like, just spawn it quicker. I mean, the games will be quicker, right? I mean, I don't understand how. I mean, you could do that, or you can take out supremacy, or you can put control. You can make it. I mean, you can make it to where like you can put the game modes in a certain rotation, like in an order, so that way you know what's coming up next. You know,
Right. And
because I mean, if you're just playing, supremacy for 2 fucking hours, nobody's
wow, then
gonna
you have
wanna...
way more willpower than I do, because Jesus.
Oh, I'm not saying that I did it. I'm not that crazy, but it's just like, I can only play PvP for about maybe 3 matches, and then I'm done with it. Like it's usually like supremacy, and then that's it. That's all I ever get. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see about that. I'm not really big on PvP, but I mean,
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
I could kind of but I like to play it every now and then just to shoot the shit. All right, so finally we are getting a PC tower chat.
Yay, PC users.
Yay, PC
Communication.
Yay, words on the screen. This would actually be pretty helpful because, like, being able to be like, just type it in like general chat and be like, hey, it would kind of replace LFG in a way. Be like, hey, I'm looking for some people for the Nightfall, or we need somebody for a raid. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm
need
just
one
looking
for
for
the
a crew
raid,
to
yeah.
go. Yeah, it'll take out like a lot of the LFG type stuff. So
It's almost like the social spaces would be social.
who'd have thought? Right?
Crazy.
Jesus, I know. It's hard to wrap your mind around that. Sorry. So we're getting exotic repetition reduction. This will prevent players from receiving the same exotic twice in a row. You may still receive duplicates, but just not as much.
Not consecutively, so
Not consecutively. Yeah. Well,
it's not
we've heard
as
this before.
frustrating.
Yeah, we've heard this before, so we'll see how that goes.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, right. So, fire team members on destination map. This will actually be kind of cool. So, it's saying that we will finally be able to see other members of our fire team on the destination map. No more having to ask your fire team, hey, where did you go? Where did you fast travel to? What landing zone are you at? I don't know, man. I just pushed a button and now I'm here. So it's like...
And what's great about this, if you read like the developer update, it literally says no more having to ask your fire team where they went. It's like this was, guys, how did this not get in the base game? Where was this?
Yeah.
So
I mean, like, okay, what's the purpose of a map, right?
right.
Well, okay, well, take this back. What's the purpose of a map in a multiplayer game?
It's sure as hell not to find
But-
people,
but some-
apparently. That is not what Destiny 2 is about, is not finding your friends.
Yeah, on a game that thrives to be social, they take away the tools to be social. Yeah, thanks, Bungie.
Hey,
Appreciate
but
it.
we're getting them back. Again, it's hard to congratulate Bungie on things that should have always been there, but, at least baby
Yeah.
steps, right? Baby steps, moving in the right direction.
Yeah, 2 years down the line, we'll finally have everything.
Oh, man, you're making
Yeah.
me sad now.
I mean, so I didn't get to be on last week's episode due to certain things, but like, man, Bungie is really just killing it for me right now. Like, I really don't, like, I still respect them as developers, but like, I don't know, man. It's like, fool me once, shame on me. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
Yeah.
I don't really feel the magic from them like I did from D1. D1 was great, but D2 is just, I don't know, it's tanking, man.
Yeah,
Sorry, I had to get that off my chest because I was just like, it really sucks because I enjoy this game a lot, and I mean, this besides Borderlands 2 is probably my favorite game of all time. Mm-hmm. So,
and I mean, I'm with you. I feel like everyone, to an extent, is just like, especially I was. Oops, dang it, sorry. I just bumped my mic, but I was not a day one Destiny player. I came in during the Dark Below, and I can't imagine what it would have been like. I came in during the Dark Below, so I went through a lot of the, you know, God, what was it, Forever 29 or whatever. So, I mean, I was kind of in that era, but I can't imagine what it would have been like to go through almost exactly the same process again on a sequel release. Like, I am getting frustrated with this, and I can't even imagine how day one players feel. Like, it has to be just absolutely terrible.
It fucking sucks. It really does. I've been playing
You
it
are
since
correct.
the beta for D1. Yeah. Like when I first started playing, when I had to get like when you went to the moon and you had to get helium filaments to upgrade all your shit. I was the dude. Literally, we were running fucking circles in an area farming chests for hours and hours and hours. Like, I mean, D2 isn't on that level, but it's not too far. Like, I don't know. I'm really disappointed in D2 in general. I got really overhyped, and I got I don't know. It's not what I expected, and that sucks. But, you know, you live and you learn. So, anyways, sorry for that
Digression.
rant.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
sorry.
Man. It's fine. It's okay. You're in the tree of trust here. Like, you just let it all out. Just cry it out if you need to.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I'm here for you, and so is the rest of the internet. We all feel your pain.
I'm sure they do. All right. So the next, I believe, is this the second? Yeah, the second segment is actually, no, this is the third. Sorry, I can't count. The Spring 2018. So this is basically, I'm just going to kind of water this down for time. What they're going to be, what's going to be coming out in spring of 2018. So it looks like most of this is all Crucible stuff, which is great. Like I said, I'm not really a big Crucible guy. So Crucible, we're going to be getting a Crucible rank. This will be in beginning of season 3. There will be 2 different types of ranks to pursue. There's Valor, which is a progression rank that goes up as you complete matches. Winning helps you move up faster, but you will be penalized. Oh, wait a minute. But there are no loss penalties. Okay, that sucks. So Glory, this is more for kind of the hardcore players. A progression rank that goes up when you win and down when you lose. Performance is how you move up. So that's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever played comp in Overwatch.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of the same thing. But I don't even think they're adding a playlist for it though. So that kind of sucks. But
I think someone was saying, I don't know if it's actually written here. Someone was saying that it's might only be for competitive. But I don't think they specifically spelled it out anywhere. It was just kind of a feeling that it would only count towards competitive matches. But who knows? Again, this is stuff supposed to happen in spring, so maybe we'll see more about it this spring. Maybe it'll be pushed back to fall. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, these are all like stepping stones. This is just beginner stuff. So I mean, this could be one little thing and they can grow on it. So it's just, I believe it's a step in the right direction. You know, who knows what they're gonna do? I mean, we still have 3-4 more years of the game. So, so private matches. I mean, if you play Destiny 1, I mean, you're pretty sure you're familiar with private matches. Let's see here. 6v6 playlists. I'm sure Kraken is happy about that. We're bringing 6v6 PvP to Destiny 2 in addition to the current 4v4 game modes. It doesn't specify if it's going to be like another playlist, what game modes it's for, but they're bringing it back. And personally, I think that's kind of cool.
I'll agree.
Yeah. So Mayhem event. Mayhem will return as a limited time event during Season 3 and going forward.
So I'm just going to throw it out there. So just real quick. So we already said that Iron Banner is going to be coming back the 30th, I think.
Yep.
I really would love to see Iron Banner Mayhem. That's what I'm hoping for. I know it won't happen, but that's what I would love to see. Mayhem coming back at all is great. Throw in Iron Banner and Bungie. Like, you have the opportunity to like just have Mayhem for a week. It's great. Like, let's do it.
And it's Iron Banner. That'd be fucking fantastic.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I like when the Mayhem was the only thing that I did for the Dawning. Like, that was it. Mm-hmm. That was the only thing I did, and I was having a blast. Like, that was the first time I think I had ever like played other subclasses. Like, I tried Sunbreaker. I did what is it, Dawnblade? I tried Dawnblade. Mayhem is what we want, and hopefully they saw the reaction and they took note of how everybody reacted to Mayhem, and then be like, oh, well, maybe we should do more things like this, you know, or do something like that, you know. But so some of the additional fixes here, we are making some changes to make quitting less common, and behind the scenes security improvements to help improve the overall Crucible experience. Yay, great. So additional highlights here: weapon and ability balance pass. So that's basically just sandbox adjustments. There's no details here. Exotic weapon and armor balances. Again,
Sandbox.
There's
Yeah.
So seasonal reputation, improved Iron Banner faction realities, playlist repetition reduction, end of game player pursuits. So, and then they're talking about the emote wheel, which is going to be great. Vault space. Do you mind if I touch on this real quick?
Go for it.
Okay, so vault space. This says that they're adding 50 additional slots. And it says they're adding exotic accessory tab to the vault collection, so we no longer have to spend vault space on exotic ships, sparrows, and ghosts. First of all, who is spending vault space on exotic ships, sparrows, and ghosts? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Collectors, man.
But I guess so. But I mean, they're putting a kiosk in it so we can go get it whenever we want. That's great. But my thing is, okay, D1, the vault system did not work. Why the fuck did you put it in Destiny 2? And then you're only giving us 50 extra slots? Like, I don't understand. I mean, like, I'm not a person that really fills up their vault. I have a very minimalist approach to Destiny 2. I delete a lot of shit, but in concept, I just don't understand. Like, it's in Destiny 1, the vault system didn't work, so I just don't understand why they're bringing it over to Destiny 2.
Because they hate us. That's my official stance.
Yeah, sorry.
But,
I really had to get that off my chest.
Again, it's stuff that should have been there to begin with, but at least it is like a long, slow, painful process. But at least we're getting there, right? At least it's happening.
Yeah. All right. So here. All right. So PC clan chat. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
For all you PC folks.
Hey, our thrones are very comfy. So
you and Kraken can talk to each other.
Yeah, right. He might actually play with me. All right, so heroic strike changes. We will be introducing modifiers to add more gameplay variety to experience. Great. All right, so this is stuff that's going to be coming out in fall 2018 or sooner. I'm just going to read through this real quick because it's not a whole lot going on. Item collections records, so AKA record books, which is good. Weapon slot and archetype improvements. That's great. We might get primary, secondary, and heavy back. That'd be awesome.
Doubtful.
Additional Crucible playlists. Hey, I got a dream, buddy.
Hey, I'm the pessimist here. I'm grounding us. All right.
All right. So additional Crucible playlists. Example, Rumble. It doesn't say that it's Rumble, but I hope it's Rumble. Better clan rewards, Masterworks exotics. That's actually kind of cool. Pinnacle weapon and gear improvements, Trials of the 9 improvements, shaders dismantling, the future of guided games.
I'm kind of interested on that one. I'm really curious what they have in mind for that. Because
Because
I
it
have no
specifically
idea.
says the future of guided games. So it's like, are they? It sounds like they just want to do away with it.
Uh, it's possible, or unless maybe they've got some new guy that's like, you know what, guys, I've got this great idea for guided games, and he actually fixes it, which would be really cool. Like, I think it's a great idea. I just think it's poorly executed. So hopefully they're able to figure out a way to really make it work.
Yeah, and I believe it's actually still in beta right now. I don't know if you said that or not, but I
The
believe
whole
it's
game
still
is in beta right now.
Oh, no, right? But like, yeah. So I mean, maybe it'd be like, hey, we're gonna actually put like the first actual implement of guided games in, and here's all these sweet ass rewards that you can get for doing this. You know, for being awesome and helping out other players as well. So that's cool. Address is solo versus fire team matching. I didn't even know that was a thing, or I didn't know that was an issue.
Oh yeah, man! Like how you get a team of like four like solo queuers against an entire like clan, like four clan members. It's miserable. Again, if you if you don't play
Yeah,
PvP, you don't
yeah.
really have that problem. But yeah, it's pretty bad. That's one of the big reasons I stopped playing PvP.
Yeah, I'm just gonna read this off here. It's just Bungie says one final note. It said expect to hear more from us via Bungie.net, Twitch, and social media. It says we'll be talking to you more directly and more often as promised. We want to thank our community for all the passionate and detailed feedback you provide. It's critical to our ability to continually improve Destiny. So thank you. And then Christopher Barrett signed off. So. Yeah, so there you have it, guys. That's the what is this? The development. Sorry, I just mumbled
Development
my words.
update, yeah.
You can cut that out. I
No, we're
totally
leaving it
mumbled.
in, man.
Oh fuck! All right, so that was the Destiny 2 development update. This on January 11th, 18th, which was yesterday. Yeah, so just overall, how do you feel? Like, how do you feel? Like, is it like good, meh, or bad?
This is what I'll say. Virtually everything in there is good. Virtually everything in there is stuff that I'm excited to see in the game. However, I feel tired. I feel exhausted from being a Bungie fan. And basically everything that was in there is either stuff that is coming back from D1, or it is stuff like finding people on the map should have been in the base game. So while I applaud Bungie for fixing these things, I can't applaud too loud for things that never should have been broken to begin with. So again, it's exhausting. Like, I really want this game to be good, and it's moving in that direction. But again, it's such a replay of Destiny 1 Year 1 that it's exhausting. So that's my overall
Yeah.
take on it.
I can totally get behind that. And my thing is just like I'd read this before we started recording, and my first thought was, why are they? I was like, I really feel like they're trying to bring all the good stuff from Destiny 1 into Destiny 2. If I wanted to play Destiny 1, I'd just go fucking play Destiny 1 and just not even play Destiny 2. It's just, I don't know. But I was kind of meh about it because a lot of this stuff, I mean, history repeats itself. I've said, we heard a lot of this type of stuff in Destiny 1 whenever, they'd be like, oh, well, this is what we're going to do to improve. I've heard a lot of the same stuff. And yeah, they acted on it, but it was just kind of like they overhyped it. It wasn't really like all that great, It still had problems. I just, I don't know. I'm just going to keep my guard up for a while. I'm not really going to like give into the hype. But, I mean, that's great that they're trying to fix their game, But like I said, I'm just, I don't know. I'm going to be very cautious about it.
Yeah, and again, that's in my opinion, that's the right attitude. Like, that's why I'm always like assuming worst case scenario. That's why out of probably everyone in our clan, I honestly feel like I enjoyed Curse of Osiris probably more than anyone, because I expected it to be like terrible. Like I expected it to be like stick figures drawn on like notebook paper kind of stuff. Like, and so when I went through it, I was like, this is not terrible. All right, like I have set the bar so low that I am impressed. And so, like I feel like that's a completely okay way, especially in respect to what has gone on in the past. Like being very cautious about things, I feel like is the right way to go. And as much as that sucks to say, like that's where Bungie has put us.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation. Yeah, I hate to end on the podcast on that note, but so Bungie, if you hear this, fix your shit, man. We really want to play it.
So I can end this on a more positive note. So
yeah, go
I
ahead.
realized this as we were going through. This is our Crimson Doubles episode because we are two people, two guardians in the podcast. This is our doubles podcast.
This will be the only time I participate in Crimson Doubles.
Oh,
Because my wife doesn't play. Rip. Yeah. All right. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Again, thank you so much for listening to episode 11 of Delta Co Fireteam Chat. You can find us on, I believe we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Delta Co Fireteam Chat. And you can also listen to our podcast on YouTube. So if you have YouTube Red, you could just lock your phone and listen to it that way, or you could watch the video, or you can find us on Stitcher.
and just so everyone knows, I am actually working on getting us a better RSS feed. So if you're through the RSS, I am working on that. Stand by for details on that. Like stand by in like the coming weeks, not like in a few minutes.
Yeah. All right. So we'd like to thank you guys for listening, and we hope you have a great day. Peace.